am TheYoloDonkey. This camera is turned, I know, but you're not going to be seeing it for very long. This is going to be a different type of video than my usual gaming / streaming / reviewing. This is how I would how I would do the story of The Last of Us 2. And you have to get this in your mind. Just forget everything that happened in the sequel, in the released Naughty Dog version. I will be using the same Abby, Manny, Mel, Owen, and Jordan characters, and the Dana and Jesse characters. I will be using them, but I will explain why and how. But you will not be watching me for the entire time. This is just me telling you that this is going to be a long-winded story time, basically. And you're not going to see me for all of it, but you're going to see some of just the violent part of the game, just some for you to watch while you listen. I'm trying something new. If you like it, leave a like. Tell me in the comment section down below if you like it and if you want more of these, and for what games you would like to see me book. Alright, well, let me get to it. So we start out with Dina and Ellie at an outpost talking. They're just chit-chatting, introducing us to Dina and her character. And then eventually they get to the point where Dina is telling Ellie that you have to forgive Joel. We'll figure out why later. They start talking and they hear screaming right as they're at the intimate moment of the conversation. So they get up and leave. As soon as the door slams, boom, transition to Joel and Tommy playing pool at their outpost. They're having fun, bro time, brother talk. They're just having old school fun. Tommy recognizes that there is something wrong with Joel, and he asks, and then digs into what Joel's problem is. Joel eventually says, "I lied about the fireflies and the cure, and the guilt's killing me because I lied to Ellie." Tommy plays oh my god, alarm. Tommy plays the little brother card and says, "You have to tell Ellie she deserves to know the truth." Joel nods. And then a silence. And then Tommy picks up his pool cue, looks at the table, hits the 8-ball in and wins the game and says, "Big brother, looks like you're making dinner tonight." Joel smiles. Back to Ellie and Dina. They run up and see a person fighting off infected and save his life. His name is Charles. He has been in the arms, so they bring him back to their outpost. They talk to him. He's a cool guy. He says the reason he was out there was for hunting, and now Dina starts to sympathize for him. He tells Charles her name, and Ellie's name. They feed and water him, and after dinner, he says he's going to go die beside his sister. "Don't worry, I'll end myself so I don't turn." Then he goes, and then night falls. And the mood hasn't been right, so Dina starts laughing, just a little giggle. Ellie's like, what's funny? And then she pulls out a small bag of weed and wrappers from Eugene. You know, they had his big old weed farm. And then they both start laughing. Cut to black, screen says 2 weeks ago, and it's Dina yelling at Jesse. They break up. And Ellie pulls a real Eugene move from The Walking Dead and accidentally eavesdrop because all three of them are roommates. They're still learning patrols and stuff, so they're living together to get to know each other a little better, just like how soldiers you would do in barracks. But Dina walks out and sees Ellie that has been listening the whole time, but Dina does not care and basically peer pressures Ellie into going to the town party. And then the same thing happens. You know, Dina's dancing with everyone. She's a maniac on the floor. And Ellie's just in the corner being shy. And then they start dancing. And then the kiss, which was really 2 kisses, but whatever. And the old man Seth says it's a family event. They start having words, and then he calls her a loudmouth. Dyke, Ellie starts getting loud, Seth getting louder. Instead of having Joel just push Seth, just decks him one. And then everyone's looking at Joel. They know he used to be a killer. I mean, he's become soft over the years, but he's a killer. Ellie says, I had this under control. Joel, you need to go. Flashback over, cut back to Dina and Ellie just smoking the blunts, talking about the kiss, and then just like in the actual game, they have sex. But right before he gets to the good stuff, cut to black, because we don't need sex in a video game. That's just my personal opinion. And cuts to black and then opens up. It's the next day, next morning. Tom and Joel, they're mounting up their horses. They're about to go on patrol. Then Tommy says, race you to the top of the hill. Joel says, yeah, if I win, you give me your stash of coffee beans. Tommy says, yeah, if I win, you perform at the next town party. You know, guitar singing and whatnot. He knows his little brother's got his big brother's got stage fright, so he's messing with them. But we already know Joel is willing to go the extra mile for coffee, because in the second one he talks about trading embarrassing stuff for coffee beans. In the first one, they found a little cafe and he mentions his love for coffee. So they agree, and then you let the player race, because, yeah, we're playing the game. You let the player race, but pretty much no matter what, Joel wins. Now they're just looking at the distance. Tommy's like, shit, you won. I get the beans when we get back. But Joel sees something in the distance. So he says, Tommy, let me see that rifle, because he has that big ass sniper rifle. He looks through the scope and sees a small horde coming. So they ride off to tell Dina and Ellie. Then we go back to Ellie on a couch, waking up to the noises of Dina morning sickness. Then she finally tells Ellie that I'm 2 months pregnant. And then she starts to cry because she's scared of bringing a child into this lunatic world. And that her and Jesse pretty much are through. But Ellie says that no matter what, she'll be with her every step of the way. Dina's wanting to have more fun, and just because she's not the one to stay sad. Basically pressures Ellie into a game of old school hide and seek. Again, this is a video game, so you get to play hide and seek with Dina and Ellie. But on the last time that Dina is seeking and Ellie is hiding, Ellie hides in a closet on the bottom floor in the living room. And then Dina goes out of frame. Ellie's like, I got you, bitch. And then you just see Dina walk into frame, followed by Abby, Owen, Mel, Jordan, Manny, and 2 just extra wolf soldiers. They ask where Ellie is, and once she refuses to tell them where Ellie is, really, because she doesn't know, they start to jump her. And Ellie knows. If she jumps in, they'll both die. But she doesn't know why they want her, even though we as the player knows that she's just trying to get to Joel. Because I still believe if we have to wait that set... If you watched the review, you knew this. I probably should have said this at the beginning. Before The Last of Us 2, we still had that 7-year wait between the first game and the second game. 2 years before the last game, this game, have the Abby DLC, where it's just Abby's story with Manny and Owen and Mel, and that way, because Abby's story was a good story, but that way we have her story 2 years before the main game in DLC version. That way we can grow fondness in our hearts for Abby and Manny and all the other characters. That way we're playing with a loaded deck on both ends. That way we're sad for both sides of the soldiers. But yes, the player can immediately recognize that it's Abby, Owen, Mel, Manny, and Jordan. But then Abby puts a knife to Dina's neck and asks her one more time, where the fuck is Ellie? And then right when Ellie goes to the doorknob, Dina spots Ellie in the closet. They make eye contact. She says, no, no. Then a pause because that's not real grammar. Then she has to go back to hiding the fact that she knows where Ellie is, and that was just a sentence. No, no, I won't give her up. And matter of fact, you can go fuck yourself. She slashes Dina's throat. And Ellie is just shook and standing there. Right when she goes to open the door, Tommy and Joel upstairs. They kick down the door and they already had their guns out because of the horde. It's right behind them. They see what's happening and they start open firing. They kill the two extra wolf members. Not a second later, Ellie kicks open the closet door and opens fire, but only hits Jordan in the knee. She's tempered. She's not really aiming. Owen, scared for Mel and his baby, gets her gun, and instinctively everyone follows because that's the leader. Ellie just stares as they leave because she's out of ammo, and then goes to hug Dina because she was really in love. It's the first time she's been in love since Riley, way before she met Joel. So a good 7 years, I believe, if I'm not wrong. No, it's about 7. But Joel pulls Ellie off of Dina and tells her the horde is right there, but she is so shook, so he physically has to put her on the back of the horse. Tommy says, go ahead and ride. I'm going to barricade the checkpoint. Give us some time. And as they ride off, Ellie watches the infected eat Dina, start to chew on her, right when Tommy shuts the door. Joel gets about 30 yards ahead of Tommy. He's going to wait. That's his brother. And as soon as Tommy locks the door, he turns and goes, and he's jogging towards his horse, and then blam! Abby was there camped by the horse and puts a shotgun slug into Tommy's knee, basically destroying the leg. Joel sees and he grabs Ellie's rifle and starts firing shots. Once Abby spots the horde and basically the rock in the hard place, what do? You go fight Joel or do you fight the horde? She just turns around and just fucks off through the woods. She's gone. She's out of here. But then Joel jumps back on the horse. Ellie draws her pistol. Joel is driving. Ellie's on the back. They start going. They're going to get Tommy. They're going to go save the day. Ellie's just blam, blam, killing them around. Tommy tries to out-limp. He's not running. He's out-limping the horde. But they catch him. And it's a silence. Joel yanks the pistol from Ellie, aims it at Tommy, and says, sorry, baby brother. Bang! Then they ride off. Whew. Well, I'm going to take a little sip. Then it cuts to them riding in from the gate. And then as Joel, you get a small army, about 6 fighters, to defend Jackson for an old school zombie defense. You know, because this is a game, we still need gameplay. And plus, replay value, holy shit, you get to fight off a horde of just zombies in this style of game. In this style of game is probably the best zombie fighting game. Because it feels real and it's a challenge. So yeah, after 3 or 4 minutes, the screen cuts to Joel at Maria's. She asks him where Tommy is, and Joel forces himself to tell her what happened. And then she gets on her knees and starts crying. Joel takes a pistol from her holster. Joel walks outside and sees Ellie digging a grave, presumably for Dina. Joel gets a shovel and starts digging a plot next to her for Tommy. And they stay quiet. Then Joel says to Ellie, do you really want the real truth about the Fireflies? Ellie goes, like, I thought you've been telling me the truth. But I've believed you, but if you're going to tell me this time for real. And no matter what, I'll believe you. Then Joel says, with the Fireflies, we're going to make a vaccine. Not a cure, but a vaccine. The vaccine would have killed you because of the surgery. The surgery would have killed you. And I got us out of there. And if the good Lord gave me that opportunity again, I'd do it all over without hesitation. And Ellie already feels broken and says, I'm sorry. And Joel asks, what for? And Ellie says, you've lost your brother. And after we go and kill these motherfuckers, you'll have lost me too. Then Joel says, well, at least after we do this, and I know you're safe, I'll miss you. But all I have is you now, and your happiness. So if that's what you want, you'll never see me again. Then they both just go back to digging. They both are just crying tears. And then Jesse walks by, and not walks by, Jesse walks up to Ellie and says that he'll finish Dina's grave, and then Ellie drops the shovel and just walks off without saying a word. Then the men continue to dig. Jesse tries to talk to Joel, but Joel says, shut up. He's just completely cut off. And then cuts back to Joel sitting on his front porch playing the guitar. It's just real late at night. And then Maria walks up to his house stumbling. She's drunk, and Joel tries to calm her down, and he gets her on the inside of his house. And she reveals that Maria and Tommy were growing apart, but she still loved him. And now that he's really gone, she really misses him. And Joel tries to put her in bed. You know, he just tries to get her to sleep, wake up, get this hangover over with. But Maria tries to make a move on him because she's drunk, and you know drunk people. He declines and just puts her in the bed, and he sleeps on the couch. And Joel asks himself, what are you gonna do, old man? And then he chuckles and then followed up with, I am sure you will figure that out. And that is The Last of Us 1 reference where Ellie's like, how am I supposed to pass time? And he's on the couch, I am sure you will figure that out. That is for the hardcore players. And then, I'm losing my spot here. Then it cuts to the birthday scene, you know, the museum with Joel and Ellie, because that was the greatest things in the game. We need to cheer up. And then after that, it opens up to Ellie stealing supplies, food, guns, etc. Then Jesse, quote unquote, catches her because, you know. And they have a back and forth, and finally convinces Ellie to bring him with her because they might have killed your girlfriend, but they took my child. Ooh, we kind of like Jesse now. He's got a dead kid, and that makes more sense to why Jesse would just want to come to Seattle to fight with Ellie. That makes way more sense. You got a dead baby, and it makes sense for it. Joel, Ellie, Jesse, they all lost somebody via Abby. Abby took Jesse's son that was unborn, Dina from Ellie, and Tommy from Joel. But yes, it's just Jesse and Ellie right now. Jesse finally convinces Ellie to bring him with him, but she says Oh yeah, so after he says, they might have killed your girlfriend, but they took my child. She was real curious to how he knew, and he starts stuttering. He basically knows he did not pull out. He wanted to be a dad already. So they both sneak over the wall, and are off for revenge. And they ride to a little cottage, just a little house of Ellie's. That she just had a little getaway place outside the walls where no one else knew. And that she had a little horse. And they ride off until they get to the checkpoint, search through the corpses, and find the bodies of Tommy and Dina. They wrapped them in tarps from the horse saddlebag, holy shit. And then they spray paint the labels Tommy and Dina. Ellie tells Jesse, "You may have seen violent, but what we're going to do isn't violent. It's just going to be gruesome. And if you're not fully on board, leave." Jesse just gets on the horse and waits for Ellie. Then Ellie gets on, they ride off, and then as they're riding off, the camera pans to the tarps. And then it cuts, we're back in Jackson. Joel walks up to Ellie's house, and Joel is waking up. He goes in to tuck Maria back into bed, because she had drunk nightmares. And I lost my spot. Let me find it. I got a big script here. I've been working on this. It's like, it's a good bit. You see how long the video is. But then the camera is, we're at Joel. He's waking up from the couch. And then he goes to tuck Maria into bed. But she wakes up and tells Joel, "Be careful, because the wolf, the Washington Liberation Front, from what Tommy said from his old days, could have the numbers and guns to turn Jackson over, and to make sure that her and Ellie are extra careful, and that she is thinking about resigning from leadership." But Joel tells her that she can't, because the people are in the darkest time right now, and they need their leader to step up and to not feel sorry about yourself. You know, it's that old school Joel tough love. And then we just cut to Joel in full gear knocking on Ellie's door. Then no answer, because Jesse and Ellie are already gone to go find Abby and all them. So he just lets himself in and find a note revealing that she has already gone ahead and left, and now he's almost a day behind. Now we're cut back to Ellie, and then we just fight through infected until we finally save a person running. It's a wolf member that is going AWOL, and they save him or her, it doesn't really matter. But she tells them about the numbers, the guns, and the outpost. But they don't know where she is, but they have a good idea where Abby is. And then they both say good luck, go off. And then now there's a small outpost. And you sneak up on Mel and Owen arguing about them both going AWOL and going to Santa Barbara like he wanted to. Give me a second. And then we get a hold of. Then Ellie gets a hold of Mel and interrogates her. And Owen's not going to move anywhere because Ellie has a knife to her throat. And Ellie says, "We'll let you live if you give us Abby's whereabouts." Then Owen gives Abby up for Mel. And then it gets real tense. Ellie slits Mel's throat, and Jesse kills Owen. Then once the bodies fall, Ellie sees that Mel was pregnant. She falls on her hands and knees and pukes it. Jesse is just standing there stone faced and only has a single tear going down his face. He could not give a flying fuck. While Ellie is just sad and remorseful, they hear footsteps coming. They're attracted to the gunshot from Jesse mowing down Owen. And then get ready, because now this is a video game. We get to clear an outpost. And after you do that, Jesse and Dina walk around. Then bang, Manny shoots Jesse in the gut, and Ellie scares him off with just firing rounds at him. And now that instead of chasing down the closest thing to Abby, she has to now tend to Jesse's wound. And Jesse just wants her to go get her. Go get that bitch. But she won't. And then she starts to heal up on her. Now we cut to Joel, and he's just following the trail of dead infected. He runs into the survivor that told Jesse and Ellie about everything else. And then he finds out where about Abby is, and then decides to just go find Ellie. The stranger points into their direction where they went. You know, we cut back to Ellie and Jesse. They're talking about getting home and wanting to get... Jesse is talking about wanting to get home and then to get wasted and party. And then he says how excited he was about becoming a father. Ellie says he can become a dad again once we get home. And then Jesse says, you would make a good mom. I'd gladly have had you help me and Dina raise our little kid. It's a tense moment. Jesse tries to kiss Ellie, but she's no. Dina might have gone both ways, but I only go one way. Which I think would be true to her character, because if you go back to the first game, she finds a man's magazine poster about male penises, and it was a play girl from Bill's lair. She's like, nope, fuck that. And before you can go, well, she was too young to decide back then. She was gay a couple of years before Joel even got there. She was already making out with chicks. So you can take that and shove it. And then right then, 2 trucks pull up. Oh shit, my bad. I skipped a piece. So, as Joel is talking to that survivor, boom, a bullet goes through his head. There's a small convoy that was passing by. And then Joel takes out the small convoy. I had this written down so nice. Yeah, and then, so I'm just resave this. Then Joel starts talking to the survivor, then that convoy comes. Then he takes out a convoy because this is a video game. And then he finds out the exact location of Abby, but chooses to go find Ellie instead. And then we cut back to Jesse talking about wanting to get wasted and party and how he's excited to be a mom, and then how Ellie would have been a good mom and would have been proud to have her help raise the kid. Then to try to kiss, no, I only go one way. And then Abby pulls up with 2 cars full of just new rookies and recruits. Abby says there was supposed to be 2 other cars. Get it? That's the ones that Joel took out. And the new rookie recruits go in to fight. She said, kill everybody besides the girl. Keep her alive. And then Ellie goes to the bottom floor while Jesse stays on the top floor and snipes. Then we just get more shoot 'em ups because it is a game. Then after the fight, we kill all the recruits, and then we fight Manny 1v1, little pre-boss boss fight, and we get the upper hand and then have him at knife point on the bottom floor. On the top floor, Abby has snuck up and has Jesse at pistol point, gun point. There's a standoff. No one makes a move. It's a stalemate. Then Joel walks in and talks to Abby about, hey, you want me? I know. I was the one who killed your dad. But he tried to take my daughter, so that was kind of fair. And let Jesse go, and we'll let your guy go. And we'll fight one-on-one. And no matter what, Jesse and Ellie will walk away. And then Manny will walk away with the winner. Then after that, there's no more killing. None. They agree, of course. The fight was good at first. It was a good back and forward. But the younger muscle builder starts to beat the man in his mid-50s, aka Joel. Until Manny starts to talk shit and Ellie gets mad and Abby goes from combat fighter to executioner, grabs a pipe or a pole, whatever, and starts walking towards Joel. Ellie said, hey, no weapons, and then Manny drops a pistol on the ground. What? And then pulls out a second one and starts firing at Jesse and Ellie. Both of them get in cover. Joel dodges the pipe attacks. Then Manny starts to walk to where Jesse and Ellie were in cover. Scrolling down. And Jesse says, thank you for being there for Dina. And then gets up and charges Manny. He takes 3 bullets to the gut, but as he goes down, he tackles Manny. Ellie stabs Manny right in the face, and Abby turns, gets pissed. Joe goes for the pistol that Manny dropped that was originally for Abby. But then he goes aiming at Abby. But then Abby takes the pistol from Joe, shoots him in the face, but wait, don't leave. Then Ellie and Abby have a one-on-one pistol fight, but they both just run out of ammo. And then they fight, and Abby beats the shit out of Ellie. But Ellie also cuts up her arms and shoulders. It's kind of fair. But then Abby gets on top of Ellie and goes to strangle her. Then right before she dies, Jesse, with one more act, tackles Abby. And now Jesse is just down and out. He's bleeding, no more energy. Then Abby stands over him and curb stomps his face in. Then Ellie crawls away. It looks like she's just trying not to die, but really she's crawling towards a fallen wolf soldier. And Abby thinks she's won. She grabs the pole or pipe that she was trying to kill Joe with, walks up to Ellie and says, any last words, little bitch? And Ellie says, the only bitch here is payback, motherfucker. Plow! She grabbed a shotgun from the fallen wolf soldier and blasts Abby in the leg, just like how she did to Tommy. And then she stands over her with the shotgun, and then aims. Then Abby starts to laugh. Ellie goes, what the fuck is so funny? Abby says, I'll get to be with my dad and friends again. But I took everything from you. I took your girlfriend, your dad, the little bitch at the checkpoint, and then the other guy. I really win. And then Ellie goes, yeah, I'm not be all alone. I might be all alone, but fuck you anyway. Bam. Fade to black. And open to Ellie standing at the Jackson graveyard looking at Dina's, Tommy's, and Jesse's grave. She just stands there. Then you hear from out of frame, "Hey, kiddo." And then pan to Joel with an eye patch. She goes to walk off, but he stops her and says, "Don't talk, just listen. I know that you've been mostly babysitting for Maria, but hey, kiddo." But hey, kiddo, come here. I've got something to show you. I know you're mad at me and never want to see me again. But after tonight, if you still want me gone, I'll never be seen by you. I'll just be gone. She nods, and then they walk to the town party hall, the little room that they partied in from way a while ago. There's about 50 people surrounding a small stage. Ellie asks Joel, "What is this?" And Joel tells her that I owe you this. Remember from back in the day? Then he grabs a guitar and heads on stage and starts to play and sing. And for those of you who don't know, that is a reference to where Ellie was saving Joel's life, and because this is when he fell onto that pole, and Ellie says, "If I save you, you're going to sing for me, motherfucker." And now she's finally going to get that. And then after the song, Joel asks if she's still mad. She does not answer. She just grabs a local's guitar, gets on stage, and then they both start playing. Then they both start singing as the credits roll down the screen. So what do you think, guys? Let me know in the comment section down below. I did jumble my words a little bit, and I had to redo some scenes on the fly because I just misread them. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below if you want me to do this for any other game. If you want me to do any other review, I'll do it. Just let me know. I've been the TheYoloDonkey. You've been my YOLO bros and YOLO sisters. I shall see you guys next time you click on one of my new intro videos. Peace too sweet.